Hi, this is Larry London. I welcome you to Border Crossings. Today we are joined by a country music duo. It seems to be the thing to do now these days is collaborate with someone else. And these two have been collaborating for a long time, since they were 10. We've got the Smithfields here with us. Smithfield is the name of the group. Why did you call yourselves Smithfield? Because you're Trey and you're Jen. So where did you come up with Smithfield?
Really, really groundbreaking stuff here. My last name is Smith, and her last name is Fielder.
So
Oh,
Smithfield.
now I
Smithfield.
see. Now I see it. Because you could have been called Trey Jen or Jen Trey or Jen Trey.
Gentry. It could be, maybe.
But we're glad to have you with us. Congratulations on all the success. The new album is Country with Heart, Part 1, which implies there's going to be more than one part to this story. Is this a full-length album or is this an EP?
This is a full-length album. So by technicality, because we looked this up, an EP is 6 songs or less. An album is 7 songs or more. So we made sure we hit it right on the money with 7 songs. And then part 2 will also have 7 songs, making it a full-blown album of 14 harmony-filled songs from us.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm trying to figure out, as far as EP, CDs, and all that stuff. Today's industry, it's harder to sell CDs because everybody's into streaming, and you got like 100 million streams. So you know that already, that the streaming, the downloads, all of that stuff is where it's at right now.
Oh, yeah,
But,
absolutely.
How many albums have you had out?
This is our first.
Oh, your
First
debut album.
This is our debut album. We put out 3 EPs. We've put out many, many singles. We've put out Christmas music over the years. We've never done a full-blown album, which is kind of why it's so exciting and monumental for us to be able to do this. And then I was going to say, back to CDs, like shockingly at our shows, people still want to walk away with a physical copy of the music. Even if they don't listen to it, it's almost like a nostalgia thing now. It's a piece of the show they walk away with, and we usually sign it for them. So they still matter to some people, shockingly.
It's a souvenir even if they can't play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you sell the CDs at your venues, at your shows, then they're there and they're, fans, and why not? But to get them online, to get them to buy something online is a lot harder to do. But we've got Trey and Jen. They are Smithfield, and they're with us here on Border Crossings today. So how did you two meet? I guess you started at 10 together, and so it's been 5 years now? You're both about 15?
Oh, gosh.
Yes. No. We're not going to go into that part. We met a long time ago when we were 10 years old, and our families actually go back 3 generations in the same little small town in Texas. So even our grandparents went to high school together. It was kind of just a family thing, and every year at 4th of July and New Year's, we'd have big family parties, and we'd always see each other. And Jen always sang by herself. I always sang by myself or in bands, and the timing just lined up right in college.
Yeah.
So you're both very good-looking young people. There's been no romance in your history between the two of you?
No, we're in love musically, and that's it. And, we love each other, just not that way.
Your music siblings.
Yeah.
That's a good way. It's family more than anything.
It is family. We met through our families. Our families have been friends for generations, and since we were little kids, we've been friends. So he is like my family. We love each other. We don't always like each other, but we always love each other and have each other's backs, and I think that's a special thing too.
Wow, it's well, at least you're not siblings, so that you don't have to be with each other around the clock, because that can be challenging. There's a lot of pressure there on those sibling type situations. But so how did you end up in Nashville, I think is where you are, if I'm not mistaken, from teeny tiny town, Texas?
So Trey was in a rock band. I grew up doing country music my whole life, and his rock band broke up. So we're both in college, and his cousin, again, our families are very intertwined. His cousin was at my Thanksgiving table and said, "Jen, Trey's rock band just broke up. I know you've been doing music. I've been watching you two sing since you were little kids. I think you should do something together." And I'm like, I don't want to, but like our grandparents are friends. Like I felt like I had to say yes. And so Trey comes over to my dorm room in college, and we sing together. And from the first time we sang together, we knew we had something special. It was the way our voices blended. It was like nothing I've ever heard before. And so from then on, we were like, all right, well, if we're going to do this and pursue this as a career, we've got to get to Nashville. So we moved in the year 2012, and we knew that this was the songwriting capital of the world, and we had to earn our chops and play every dive bar you could and play every writer's jam you could. And, that's what we did.
Now, you guys, I mean, came from Texas in a small town. I don't know, how small is the small town?
Well, Waxahachie is a lot bigger now. I guess it was a lot smaller when our grandparents and parents grew up. But what would you guess, Trey?
I mean, we're talking about, no post office, or no police department, or is it a city with more than one street light?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like your small Texas courthouse square town, that kind of deal. I mean, it's expanded a lot from there, but I don't know exactly how many people. Small by most definitions.
Everybody knows everybody's business.
Yeah. Yes.
Everybody knows everybody.
Everyone knows everyone. So what was the biggest change, the biggest adjustment moving to Nashville from your small Texas town?
No Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
No Tex-Mex. They don't have Tex-Mex
No good
in
barbecue.
Nashville? Really?
Okay. We Texans have a very high standard of Tex-Mex, so it's hard to appease us. We found a very short list. So that's probably the biggest change at first.
Right.
I don't know. I think you grow up in a small town and you're doing your music and you feel like you're kind of one of the only people that really does that. Like you're one of those people that pursue music, and then you get to Nashville and realize there are a lot more people like that. Mm-hmm. And you're suddenly a big fish in a big pond. And so I think that was one of the quickest realizations we had, was like, there's a lot of talent in this town.
Well, we're excited to hear your talent on the television right now. If you don't mind, Trey and Jen, Smithfield, what are you going to sing first?
We're going to sing We'll Figure It Out. And there would be no Country with Heart album without this song. This song was written to encourage people, to give you hope. So if you're going through a tough time out there, I think this song is perfect for you. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Smithfield here on Border Crossings.
Should be, but I like where we are. Even when the world turns on a dime, and pinch your pennies just to get by. Well, I don't know how, but we'll be alright. Baby, the truth is, nobody knows what they're doing. I don't have the why, when, or how, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Highways or dirt roads, sunset highs and heartbreak lows. Together there ain't no doubt. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Ooh. It turns out the secret that everybody's trying so hard to find is there ain't no secret. Gotta take it one step at a time. Long as I got you here to hold. Every mile is a milestone. So when you get scared looking out there into the unknown, baby, the truth is, nobody knows what they're doing. I don't have no why, when, or how, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Highways or dirt roads, sunset highs and heartbreak lows. Together there ain't no doubt. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Ooh. Somehow we always find a place to land, somewhere between figure it out. Together there ain't no doubt. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Border Crossings, they are Smithfield, and we were listening to an anthem, an encouragement anthem, I guess, of sorts. And so have you guys survived difficult times in your lives? Have you actually had to claw your way out from a dark hole, dark space?
Oh my
Oh yeah,
gosh, yes.
absolutely. I mean, that's the whole reason we wrote that song, is because we were in a moment that it's a hard industry, and there's days that you don't even know if you want to keep doing it. And it was one of those days for both of us. And that was what we said to each other is we'll figure this out as long as we stick together. So, we've been through 2 record deals. We've been through publishing deals. We've been through a lot of highs and lows. Our first record deal we ever had in Nashville, they called us about a month before they were going to take us to radio for the first time and told us the entire company was shutting down. So everybody lost their record deals, and we like I said, we lost everything in the divorce. We didn't get to keep our money, or our masters, the music, or our money. And yeah, and that was kind of our first welcome to Nashville slap in the face. You gotta dig, and you gotta try hard, and you gotta get back up and keep punching.
And Trey, you produced this new album. This is the first time you've produced an album.
This is the first time I produced an album on this. Yeah, something I've been interested in for a long time. And it was always kind of the end goal that I wanted to be involved with that side of it, but it just never happened until, I felt like it got to the level that it needed to be, and she felt the same, and I just felt like I could finally take the reins on it and make it sound like we wanted it to sound like.
Well, that's admirable that Jen would give away the reins to you and let you decide what the
She'll
album
be honest.
is going to be.
She'll always be honest with me on whether she likes it or not. So
that's the tough thing about, I know big labels, the majors, they want their own producers in there, and they change what you're doing around and everything. Let's a little more of this, a little less of this. Let's, it's a ballad, but let's make it a happy ballad, different things. When you're producing your own for an indie label, you're in total control. You get much, much more control.
It's interesting. We talked about that. As an artist, you have your writing and you have communication to the producer you're working with, and there can be magic there 100%. I'm not taking away from that. But there is a certain level of creativity that comes out when you control all the knobs, all the sounds, and literally every intricate aspect of it. And it's like a whole new playing field opens up to you as an artist.
Now, going back a bit to what you said, you both went through some tough times. What advice would you give to a younger person coming up through high school or whatever that's struggling, that's having a struggle, a tough time in life?
Yeah, I would just tell them to just keep going. I mean, that's been the best piece of advice, that there are going to be tough times. You are going to face those difficult times. Face them head on. We took it step by step, and we say that in that song. You got to take it one step at a time. That sounds so simple and cheesy, but it's so true. Trey and I, we get ahead of ourselves. We start thinking about the next 6 months or a year away, and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? If we just focus on the now and the one step at a time, we know we're going to get through it, and try not to focus too much on, the future of that. Because I think that's when I get overwhelmed, is when I'm like, oh, I don't know where we're going to be at in a year. It's like, Jen,
you think of all the things that you have to do to get there when you're not thinking about what do I need to do right now to get there.
Yeah, totally.
So, Jen, you've always done country. Trey, you were a rocker. Was it a big change for you, Trey, to go to country music?
Well, I got a lot shorter hair, so that's a start.
You got rid of the mullet.
Yeah, well, we won't go into the shoulder length hair I had when I moved to town. No, it was a change, but it wasn't, because especially at that time, there were guys like Keith Urban and those guys that were doing a lot of rock and roll in country music. And he was somebody I loved, even in my rock days, I still loved Keith Urban and the music he was making. So I think he kind of opened up that door and made me realize, a lot of what I'm doing already exists in that genre right now. So it really wasn't that much of a change for me to shift and do anything different. It was just placing it somewhere else.
So writing songs isn't different? I mean, when you're writing for a country audience or a rock audience, doesn't
not for me, really, at least. I mean, I didn't feel like there was a huge transition there, because it was always just stories, and truthfully, maybe there was already some country that existed in my songwriting before I even got officially into country. So.
Do you both write songs, or just one of you, or how does it work? What's the process like?
Oh, 100%. We have what we call coffee talk. We love coffee. And Trey and I have a lot of coffee talk where, our songs, the songs that have made the most impact for us are the ones that we're being just 100% genuine to our art and our messaging and what we would say, like, we'll figure it out. We were going through a tough time. So we put that in a song, and it turned out that it reached millions of people that needed to hear it. We had no idea that it would connect like that. We were just being authentic to our art and our songwriting. But, we've got a song about one of Trey's exes. This is kind of the nice thing about being a duo and like not being together, is it opens up Pandora's box for what we can write about. I can write about my exes. I can write about a relationship I'm in. We can write about love, breaking up, family. We've got a song about my grandparents. We've got a song about Trey's dad. Like, our music is our lives. It's our families. It's our relationships together and separately. Mm-hmm. And so, that we are both very, very involved in the writing process. Mm-hmm. And I think you have to be.
Being a singer-songwriter, I mean, it can be therapeutic too, to write down your emotions, your thoughts, highs and lows.
Yes, absolutely. And Trey is more like, I'm more of an open box, what you see is what you get. Trey's more of an internalizer. So getting to write music with him is a way of him expressing his emotions and his feelings and therapy in a way. Yeah, it is.
All right. We're going to ask for another song. We're going to get greedy here.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do one off of our new album that just came out. You mentioned Country with Heart Part 1. This is kind of the second single that we released off of that one. It's called Drink That Strong. And I feel like Jen needs to tell this because she had the thought that ended up being the song.
Well, y'all all know this, small country artist. His name's Morgan Wallen, right?
Yeah, small name.
He's got a lot of potential.
He's
got potential.
Well, I heard his song Whiskey Glasses when I was driving down Music Row in Nashville. And I thought, you know what, Morgan? What happens when the whiskey glasses aren't strong enough? The song's about going out, drinking whiskey, and being able to easily get over somebody. And this is the idea that sometimes it's not always that easy. There's not a drink strong enough. So.
All right. Well, here they are, Smithfield on Border Crossings.
One for courage on a Friday night, one you buy to break the ice, one for dancing, singing wild and free, but they ain't got the one I need. Go on and fill my cup, it won't be enough to take the edge off. They say a broken heart gets better at a bar, but I say they're dead wrong. I wore those whiskey glasses, they turned everything but you. Shot tequila till that sunrise, but the straight don't chase the truth. It's no matter what I do, no matter what the proof, I can't get you gone, 'cause they don't make a drink that strong. Wish I could blame the bars in town, wish I could say it's watered down, but I'm as drunk as I'll ever be. 3 sheets and one of you wrapped up in them. Damn, I can't even seem to make it in. I wore those whiskey glasses, they blurred everything but you. Shot tequila till that sunrise, but the strain don't chase the truth. It's no matter what I do, no matter what the proof, I can't get you gone.
Smithfield, Drink That Strong. It is a brand new song and it's on their brand new album. Lots of new things going on. How does the sound of 100 million streams affect you?
It makes me a lot happier.
As an independent artist, it's the most encouraging thing in the world to keep going, to keep chasing your dream, keep building it, because there's an audience there, right? We started from nothing, no label, manufactured that, promoted it, found the audience. We did over our hard work of the last 6 years. And so to us, that we celebrated 100 million streams and went, well, it's time to make that album. Mm-hmm. So it feels great. It's exciting.
Yeah, the demand is there, obviously. 100 million streams, that's a huge number. I can't imagine millions and millions of anything, but let alone, millions of streams. But yeah, we've got Smithfield with us here on Border Crossings today. They've been singing together since 10. Their families knew each other, and very, very country, I guess, environment in Texas. And so with Tex-Mex, as Trey pointed out, but now in Nashville, not so much so. Country with Heart, Part 1. Is there a theme in this album? Is there a story you're telling? What is it?
Absolutely. It's called Country with Heart for a reason. And we realized kind of over the pandemic years and the TikTok years, putting our music out, fans would send us messages every single day. You guys, you made me cry. You made me really feel something. I didn't like country music before you guys, and I like the kind of country music you do. I mean, comment after comment about how heartfelt our music is. And Trey and I realized that is our niche. That's where we fit in. Because sometimes we're like, we don't sing about tailgates and Friday nights and beer drinking and like the same things that you hear in country music. There's an audience for that. There's a culture for that. I love it, but that is not authentic to who we are and what we do. We sing more heartfelt, really deep songs. And so the album has that theme throughout. It's country with heart. You're going to cry, you're going to laugh, you're going to feel something. We like to say that if you don't come to a Smithfield show and shed at least one tear, we didn't do our job.
Oh, so, what is the most touching thing that any fan has ever said to you?
Oh, gosh.
Look, I mean, we've gotten a lot of, you guys were my first dance at my wedding and like what I walked down the aisle to. And that's always like really cool to hear that song was so important to that person that they picked that for that moment in their life. Always amazing. I don't know, like the one where like people lose somebody that's close to them, lost a spouse or lost a child or something. And tell us that it literally was like their song that got them through that time is always really impactful.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what people would share with you. And like, this is super deep, but like there was a person that came up to us in a merch line that was like, hey, I had suicidal thoughts. Me and my marriage was, in rocks. We were going through the pandemic. I had kids, like just so much was going on. Your music helped me through that time. If that doesn't show you that you have a purpose on this earth, even if it's never, in arenas or you're not super famous, but to know that you've helped people through those kind of trying times, I never would imagine that our music could do that. And I'm not saying that's the only factor that got them through, but just to hear that from a person, like your music helped me get through this.
Yep.
You touch somebody, you made a connection, and that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's a great, rewarding feeling to get. Now, don't sell yourself short and say that you guys aren't superstars. I mean, not everybody, not even probably Morgan Wallen has played the Grand Ole Opry 40 times.
Yeah, we've been there a little bit. I'm thinking they might just give us a room eventually if we can.
Yeah, you should have your own parking space, 40 times.
I'll take a broom closet even. I don't care. Yeah, man, the Opry obviously is such a highly regarded and legendary place in country music. And when we think about 40 times, it doesn't seem real because, I mean, just so many greats have stood on that stage. And it's funny, after 40 times, it still feels like the first time, like the debut every time. It never gets old.
Wow, that's fantastic. Smithfield, Country with Heart Part 1 is now available. And you guys are going to do one more song off of the new album.
Absolutely. This song is called What I Got, and this song is the focus track of the whole album, and it was purposefully put last on the record if you still listen to records from top to bottom, because we wanted to leave people with a final thought of thinking about all the things that you already have in your life and being grateful for that. Because we all think about what we don't have, right? We tend to forget what we already do. So this is a reminder, again, to ourselves and to you to appreciate what you got.
What you got? It's Smithfield here on Border Crossings.
Got a house with a roof over my head. Good night, baby, laying in my bed. Got a little dog, he can't wait for me to come home. A sad song to get me through the bad days. A good one to put a smile on my face. And a car that starts with the radio. Ooh, sometimes it makes me think. Having everything ain't everything. Got a hand for holding love that keeps on going. Got a lot of golden sunsets to watch. And I know from the outside looking in that it might not really look like a lot. Oh, but I love what I got. Got a fire we can sit around out back, lawn chair and a box of wine now. Get us going, talking all night long. Got the things that matter the most now, all the things that count that you can't count. Oh, tell me, baby, what more could I want? Got a hand for holding love that keeps on going. Got a lot of golden sunsets to watch. And I know from the outside looking in that it might not really look like a lot. Oh, but I love what I got. Ooh, sometimes it makes me think. But having everything ain't everything. I got a hand for holding love that keeps on going. Got a lot of golden sunsets to watch. And I know from the outside looking in that it might not really look like a lot. Oh, but I love what I got. Yeah, I love what I got. Yeah, I love what I got.
Border Crossing, Smithfield, what you got? Appreciate the things you got, because you never know, they could be gone tomorrow, you know? So that's very important. Trey and Jen are with us, and you shared the stage with Josh Turner. I'm going to go through the list. Morgan Wallen, Kane Brown, Diamond Rio. I've had Kane and Diamond Rio on the show before. You mentioned Keith Urban before. I had him on the show. He's been with us. So, and I know that you were called Ones to Watch by Forbes magazine and given all kinds of accolades and credit from People magazine, Billboard, Rolling Stone, all the magazines rave about your music. So what is the future plan for Smithfield? This is your first album. Are you going out on tour?
Yeah, so we're going to tour this fall, and it's going to be an acoustic tour because, as with Country with Heart, we love to sit down and tell the stories about our songs and connect with people in a more intimate kind of environment. So, and also the harmonies really pop when it's like an acoustic setting.
Oh, yeah.
You can really hear everything. So we love to sit down with an acoustic guitar and telling our stories and connecting with people and just trying to emote that heart that we talk about in our live show.
Yeah, and then obviously a part two is coming.
Part two is coming.
We're writing and recording for part two. We have an exciting little project that's going to come out in between those two things that we're working on. Very excited about.
Can you tell us what it is, or?
I'll put it to you this way. I got married last November. Jen's getting married this November, and it might be on theme a little bit with that.
Ah, so it's songs about your significant others. That's wonderful.
Songs, many
Maybe.
projects, maybe. I don't know.
Jen and Trey and Jen, they are Smithfield. They're joining us today here on Border Crossings. And so given all of the artists you've shared the stage with, who's your favorite?
Oh,
Well, I feel like this could get me in trouble too.
Yeah.
Yes, it could get you in trouble.
Oh man. Gosh, there's been so many. I mean, the Brothers Osborne will always be one of my favorites just because they're just such good guys and such amazing talents and musicians. And
yeah, they kind of pulled us in. They brought us into their green room. They kind of wanted to be friends with us. And some artists don't do that. Some artists you don't even meet or talk to that you open for. So yeah, they were just so kind and became friends to us. And of course we look up to them because they are, you know, the top duo in country music without a doubt. So yeah, that's a good one. I was gonna say,
yeah,
I've been enjoying, maybe it's because it's recent, the Josh Turner shows, because
great.
his fans have been so wonderful to us. It's just been such a great experience being out with him. And we've been on the last like 12 shows with him, 15 shows now. So, and that will continue as well. So yeah, he's been great to open for.
And I like to ask this question of my guests, who, especially songwriters like yourselves, in addition to singing, is name 3 artists that you would like to collaborate with on your wish list. They can be dead or alive.
Oh wow.
Oh gosh.
Dead or alive. That opens up a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
I'm a big classic rock guy, so gosh, I mean, the Eagles would be amazing for me, just because like obviously they're so harmony focused, and that's what we do primarily. So there's one, I would say Keith Urban, obvious one for me, and I'd have to say the Goo Goo Dolls. They're my favorite band of all time.
Really? Johnny Resnick
Yeah.
was on this show before too. So yeah, that's great.
Dude, John is the reason why I write music, period.
He's like your favorite.
He was my inspiration as a kid, the reason why I got into it. The whole thing.
Wow. How about you, Jen? Who would you like to collaborate with on your wish list?
Oh man, wish list. This is hard.
Aside from Trey, of course, but
Yeah, of course. He's first and foremost. So I grew up singing on a show in Texas from the time I was 9 till I became in the duo Smithfield, and Leanne Rhymes was on that same show. So I saw her perform when I was like 3 or 4, and that's how I knew I wanted to do what I do and look like mimic her. So I would love to collaborate with her, sing with her in some way, because she's my hero. I would say, secondly, I've always said this, and this is a little more old school, but I think Vince Gill would be absolutely amazing with us, because he hits a really high harmony, like higher than you even sing.
I mean, let's not gonna have
So I just think that would be.
he was
you
in
know,
the Eagles for a little while. He toured with the Eagles.
Yeah,
He like.
that's right.
Yes. So okay, we're on the same page there.
Okay.
And then this is kind of like a wild card, just totally out there, not even in the genre. But I really love Charlie Puth as just as a producer, an artist, a songwriter. And so I've always seen me and Trey, predominantly country, but have the ability to go outside of the genre and collaborate. So he's on the top of my list to work.
Oh, that's super. That's great. Smithfield are with us, and Country with Heart Part 1 is the name of the new album. And before I let you go, I want to ask about your socials. Where can people find your schedules, your tour dates, your plans for the future? Where can they find you?
Yeah, so everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all of that is at Smithfield Music. And now we enter our cheesy dad joke that we always tell, because if you just go to Smithfield, you will find a ham and bacon company.
Yep.
And a lot of people have been confused about it in the past. So remember, the music part is very important.
Very important.
Smithfield Music.
Of
Yes.
course, music is where it's at. And you guys are on the roll right now. Congratulations on your new album. And I'm excited for all the success that's going to come in the months and the years ahead for you two. You've already got a second album, other projects planned. That's great. Any international tour plans?
Oh, you on it.
Okay, we're working on it currently, but there looks like there could be a good chance of a UK Ireland tour coming in 2025.
Yep.
Oh, that would be excellent. That would be awesome. Yeah, we're on the air in Ireland, Europe, all over the world. So 100 different countries. Thank you for your time, for being with us. And I want to give you a chance to say something to the audience right now. Give a message, shout out. And our audience includes the troops. So you're more than welcome to say your piece.
I love that. Well, if I'm saying anything to the troops, first and foremost, it's thank you. And we appreciate you and your service, and it does not go unnoticed or underappreciated.
We get to do what we do and what we love because of you. So thank you.
To everyone else, obviously go listen to our album Country with Heart Part 1. We have some really exciting stuff coming this year, and obviously if we're going to be in your city touring, come see us. We'd love to say hi to you and hopefully just talk it up for a minute and have you be part of our family for the evening. And thank you guys for having us.
And it sounds like you guys are very close with your fans, that, you know, you're signing CDs and you're probably posing for photos and stuff. So that's very, very nice. I know country music fans are by far the most loyal, dedicated fans of any kind of music.
Yes.
They really are.
100%. Yeah.
Well, Jen and Trey, it's been a pleasure to meet you too. Thank you so much for being on the show. Come back and see us when you release part 2. Love to have you back on.
Will do.
All right. It's Smithfield. The new album is Country with Heart Part 1. My name is Larry London. You're watching VOA TV.